Article 195 over 19 of the Constitution. They also go on to say that bribery erodes the probity in public life and has now overruled the 1998 judgment in the PV Narasimha Rao case where MPs and MLAs were given particular immunity if they had casted a vote or given a speech after taking a bribe. However, the Supreme Court has clarified that the offence of bribery, starts and ends when a bribe is actually taken, and that's exactly why no kind of immunity can be granted to any kind of MP or a MLA if at all they take a bribe and cast a vote or give a speech in the Parliament of India. So that is a big Parliament or any kind of a house, legislative house, is what the Supreme Court has gone on to say. So big judgment coming in. The immunity that until now the MPs and MLAs enjoyed when it comes to bribery for casting a vote or giving a speech in the Parliament or in any kind of a legislative house is now completely gone. The Supreme Court goes on to say that it's an agnostic offence, and that's the reason why no kind of immunity can be actually granted.
Right, and just for the better perspective of our viewers, Ananya, could you take us back to the 1998's verdict in the PV Narasimha Rao case?
Well, definitely. The 1998 verdict in the PV Narasimha Rao case was a 3-2 verdict that was given by, in fact, the Supreme Court, where, it was said that the parliamentarians are immune when it comes to taking a bribe for giving, for giving a speech or casting a vote in the House. Is what that judgment had said, and challenging that particular judgment, appeal was made here in the Supreme Court of India. First, 3 judges bench of the Supreme Court, and then 7 judges bench of the top court of the country has now very clearly and categorically in a unanimous verdict has stated that no kind of immunity can be enjoyed when it comes to, in fact, an offence of bribery.
Big breaking news now coming in. Well, we are learning that unanimous verdict by 7-judge bench on bribes for vote case is out. Supreme Court has in fact overruled the 1998 verdict in the PV Narasimha Rao case. The apex court was deciding if lawmakers have immunity from prosecution for taking bribe to make speech, cast vote in House, whether legal immunity enjoyed by legislator under Article 105 and 194 protects them from prosecution for taking bribes or not. We have CNN News 18's legal correspondent.
Viewers, last year the future of the DMK party and successor to Tamil Nadu Chief Minister M.K. Stalin shocked peace-loving Hindus by calling for the eradication of Sanatana Dharma. We all know, viewers, what was said. I am not going to go over that ground simply because, viewers, it's painful. Today, roughly 6 months after Udhayanidhi Stalin made those remarks that outraged Hindus, the Supreme Court has called him out for abusing his right to free speech and not ignoring the consequences despite not being a layman. The Supreme Court said, and I quote it, viewers, "You have abused your right to free speech. You have abused your right to profess faith. Now you are exercising your right to judicial recourse. Do you not know the consequences of what you said? You are not a layman. You are a minister. You should know the consequences," unquote. Now, viewers, the Supreme Court's observations are welcome, even though they are nowhere near as scathing as the top court's justices had been when adjudging Nupur Sharma's remarks that hurt the Muslim community. One wonders why, viewers. But perhaps that's a question we will ask another day. We will also ignore that the Supreme Court didn't pull up the Tamil Nadu police for not proceeding suo moto to register a case of hate speech against DMK Minister and Scion Udhayanidhi Stalin. Especially as the Supreme Court had once ordered state governments to do so. You will all remember, viewers, the Supreme Court lashing out at the establishment in many states for not doing enough to curb hate speech. It was in that context it had scathingly ordered state governments to act suo moto whenever and wherever against hate speech. What the Supreme Court did instead today was to remind the DMK scion of the consequences of his words. I just showed you what the Supreme Court had said, viewers. Indeed, the Supreme Court's invocation of consequences puts the DMK under the scanner for not disciplining Udhayanidhi Stalin. Questions can be asked. In fact, its approach is vastly different from that of the BJP in the case of Nupur Sharma. Let me, viewers, put this into context for you. Udhayanidhi Stalin, in that particular matter, the Supreme Court said, "You're not a layman, you should know the consequences." In Nupur Sharma's matter, the Supreme Court order read, "She has a loose tongue and has made all kinds of irresponsible statements on TV and set the entire country on fire," unquote. The DMK reaction, viewers, leaves us short or leaves us overwhelmed. Let's put it like that. It is yet to suspend or take substantial action against Udhayanidhi Stalin, who is a member of the Stalin cabinet. The BJP reaction, on the other hand, was to suspend Nupur Sharma indefinitely pending investigation, inquiry, and of course, viewers, a clean chit from the courts. The matter is languishing before the courts. Of course, on the inaction front, the DMK is a repeat offender as it has failed to take decisive action against a number of its leaders for insulting Hindus and their faith. A. Raja, a DMK member of parliament, he had said Sanatana Dharma is similar to HIV and leprosy. Hinduism is the biggest menace to India. Hinduism only breeds untouchability. Viewers, nothing really happened to that gentleman. K. Ponmudi, Tamil Nadu minister, he said India alliance formed to defeat Sanatana Dharma. Can you imagine, viewers, if the BJP had said that it was formed, the NDA was formed to defeat Islam, what the reaction would have been? Any person in government or in the BJP, a member of parliament, etc., would have been asked to go. But not so in the DMK, viewers. Mr. Ponmudi remains where he is. TKS Elangovan, DMK spokesperson, he said Hindi turns people into Shudras. R. Rajiv Gandhi, DMK leader, said must adopt Periyar's model to eradicate Brahmins. That was, viewers, a direct invitation to all sorts of action against Brahmins. Hate speech, viewers, all of these are examples of hate speech under the law. In sharp contrast to the DMK's reluctance of action against its own party, viewers, the DMK has never failed to crack the whip against dissenters or opposition leaders. And there are several examples of this. BJP leader S.G. Surya was arrested in Chennai with great alacrity for a post claiming that DMK is curtailing free speech. April 2023, the Supreme Court dismissed Tamil Nadu government's plea against Madras High Court order allowing RSS marches. So they were very quick to jump in and circumscribe the RSS right to take out marches, which of course the Supreme Court eventually came down heavily on. March 2023, 23-year-old was arrested in Chennai for sharing a critical viral video on DMK government's budget, if you please, viewers. Basic rights are being denied selectively. Let's open this up, viewers, because some questions I told you needed to be asked. The Supreme Court bench has wagged a finger. Has the time come for the DMK to stop giving a wide berth to individuals like Udhayanidhi Stalin? I mean, that's a fundamental question. Let me first begin this evening with Dushyant Sridhar, who's a Vedic scholar. Mr. Sridhar, fundamentally, the Supreme Court speaking up. Yes, you could say that it has come 6 months too late, and perhaps it could have gone a little further. But a beginning has been made, which do you think will make the DMK come under some pressure or be forced to answer some basic questions?
Namaskaram, Rahul, and namaskaram to all my viewers. At the outset, very respectfully, I would like to state that the apex court, the Supreme Court, is not doing a great favor by taking up the case, because when a sitting minister of a government of Tamil Nadu says that Sanatana Dharma is akin to malaria, dengue, and calls all sorts of names, a sitting minister saying such names about a civilization, about a religion, and the cognizance being taken so late is not to be jubilant about. That said, well, better late than never. Second point, I don't think I would have been jubilant either if the remarks were of the apex court was made even 4 months before, because my jubilance is not if somebody reprimands Udhayanidhi Stalin. It is about the very thought process of this ideology which has been existing in the last 60, 70 years in the state of Tamil Nadu. Just not one statement, Rahul, maybe with the advent and the rise of the Indian media in the last 15, 20 years, and especially channels affording to make news, something that happened south of India in the last 10 years, people across the country make a hue and cry about these statements made by people belonging to the Dravidian ideology. But for the last 70 years, the Hindus in the state of Tamil Nadu have been at the brunt of taking all these statements. And your question was, Nupur Sharma was suspended. What will happen to Udhayanidhi Stalin? He will be garlanded. He will be given a title. He will be made an icon. He's already won. So I don't think you should be expecting any kind of suspension or dismissal. I think we'll be living in an utopian land if we expect so. Because the ideologue, Periyar, and all his followers have made obnoxious statements on the religion, about the deities, about the books. Books have been burnt. Idols have been broken, chappal malas have been drawn. What do you expect? Any etiquette from such people? So all that I can say is the Hindus of the state have to rise and have to give a befitting reply. It's not about abusing and coming on Twitter and writing on the wall. It is about saying enough is enough.
So let me bring in Dr. Raman. Dr. Raman, does the DMK's reluctance to act against Udhayanidhi Stalin all these months, I mean, I don't think anyone anticipated the Supreme Court to say something different from what it has said today. It has brazened it out, as you know, over Udhayanidhi Stalin. And today, of course, you have seen the Supreme Court rebuking him roundly. Some people say he may not have gone further enough or far enough, but that's a different matter and it's a different debate. Given that, would you then agree to what the BJP says, or others like Mr. Annamalai have said in the recent past, that there is state institutionalized bias against Hindus in Tamil Nadu?
Look, Rahul, the question of the DMK acting against Mr. Udhayanidhi Stalin does not arise because Mr. Udhayanidhi Stalin is the DMK. For all practical purposes, he is the chosen heir apparent to the chief minister and his father. So there is no question of the DMK acting against him. Second, the DMK has been saying pretty much the same thing for the last 50 to 60 years, including when the BJP at one point of time formed an alliance with them and they were members of the cabinet in Delhi. When too they have kept making the very same statements that they have made now. So I think it's a little bit thick to say suddenly now, yes, we want to sort of paint the DMK as an anti-Hindu party. I have no sympathies for the DMK. I think that some of the statements they have made are atrocious and deserve the strongest condemnation. But my point is they've been saying the same thing for the last 50 years and suddenly this becomes an issue. So clearly there is an attempt to politicize this. And anyway, what the Honorable Supreme Court has said today are observations made in the court. It's not an order or it's not a judgment, and they have, I think they've said that they would be hearing this case on next Friday, if I recall correctly. So I think that whether it is Mr. A. Raja, whether it is Mr. Udhayanidhi Stalin or many others from the DMK, such statements have been made repeatedly. The late former Chief Minister, Mr. Karunanidhi, once asked which engineering college Lord Ram studied in. So I think when the question was asked about the Ram Setu bridge, so I think that we have to understand that this issue at this particular point of time is being politicized. And in fact, the caption that you're putting here was Mr. Rajiv Gandhi, the DMK leader's response was to a tweet which I had actually put out, to a post that I had put out. He had responded with that. So much of it is unacceptable. But clearly the issue is being politicized.
But
The DMK will not do anything.
Dr. Raman, that could be said about a large number of other statements that the BJP leaders have made in the past, etc., etc. Is politicizing something to draw attention to it a bad thing? And if it is not a bad thing, then should not the DMK take action, even though Udhayanidhi Stalin is, as you say, the DMK. He is the sun that shines bright across the DMK. Fair enough. He might be. But does that absolve the DMK? And does it not strengthen the notion that the DMK really doesn't care about Hindu sentiments? It doesn't rate Hindus.
No. One second. Let's be very clear, Rahul. The DMK wins elections because of the votes of a substantial proportion of Hindus. So they know that this rhetoric is not going to cost them votes. In fact, it plays to the gallery.
You're not answering my question. Forget about what they believe, what they think. I'm asking you on an issue of principle. I'm not asking you, sir. I'm asking you on an issue of principle. You said it is being clearly politicized. What's wrong? Hathras, for example. Let's just analyze this for 30 seconds. When the horrible crime happened in Hathras, when there was talk that that crime was being covered up by the state administration, the entire opposition landed up. They literally were tripping over themselves to get into Hathras. And people, the BJP said, oh, they're politicizing it. And you said, what rubbish. This is a search. I remember this. This is the quest for the truth. And they should allow these people to go into Hathras, etc., etc. Politics is part and parcel of raising an issue. Is it not, Dr. Raman?
No, that is absolutely fine, Rahul.
So fine. So set that aside. Then I'm asking you, the inaction by the DMK, is it significantly suggestive of the fact that they don't rate Hindus? It's a very simple question.
No. They know that the Hindus who vote for them will continue to vote for them, and it's not going
now
to cost
look at the dichotomy, viewers. Had this been a BJP person saying this against a person of the minority community, what would the likes of the left have said in this country? They would have said, they don't like Muslims, they don't want Muslims to be equal stakeholders in our society, therefore they say this. But when it comes
Rahul,
to the other lot,
asking that question to the Hindus.
No, I'm just saying. I'm just
continue
saying.
to vote for this party.
I don't know. Maybe they won't. Who knows? I don't know. We don't know what is happening on the ground. But anyhow, Sanju Verma,
Tamil Nadu is
the reaction has been tonight.
78% Hindu.
No, fair enough. The reaction has been tonight. Sanju Verma, that you're politicizing an issue. You have been in partnership with the DMK in the past. The DMK has a long history. Dushyant Sridhar has pointed out this history. You didn't mind then. Why are you minding now? Just because there's an election round the corner and so on and so forth. You heard the response. Could you respond, please?
You know, Dushyant Sridhar set the tone of the debate. He's a learned scholar. He has his viewpoint. I just have a couple of things that I want to bring forth to your audience. First and foremost, I'm glad, albeit a bit late in the day, but the Supreme Court has castigated in no uncertain terms the bigotry of Udhayanidhi Stalin and Abhishek Manu Singhvi. I will not say he ran with his tail between his legs because that would be so impolite. But Abhishek Manu Singhvi was tongue-tied for answers. Don't forget that the Supreme Court actually asked Udhayanidhi Stalin that, you make a mockery of free speech under Article 19(1)(a). You make a mockery of Article 25, which gives freedom to practice your religion. But you still have the audacity to use Article 32 of the Constitution to seek refuge after engaging in rampant bigotry. Obviously, the Supreme Court did not use as many words, but this was the sum and substance of what the judgment was today. So I'm glad that the Supreme Court has taken cognizance of Udhayanidhi Stalin's bigotry. Point number one. Point number two. I remember when this entire Sanatana Dharma, episode escalated. People from Udhayanidhi Stalin and from the other side, the non-BJP side, from the other side of the fence, they said, oh, you know what? Udhayanidhi Stalin did not compare Sanatana Dharma to dengue, malaria, AIDS, COVID, leprosy, what have you. He was actually castigating, condemning, criticizing the caste hierarchy within Sanatana Dharma. He is opposed to the caste hierarchy within Hinduism. So let me tell your audience something, Rahul. I always do my homework and come. When the DMK goes to Thirunelveli, they go to Ramanathapuram, they go to Madurai, They seek votes in the names of the dominant Nadar and Mukulathor communities which are present there. When the DMK goes to Dharmapuri, Salem, Karur, Krishnagiri, they seek votes in the names of the Vaniyar community, which forms 37.5% of the population in Tamil Nadu. When they go to Coimbatore and they go to regions like Tirupur, Salem, Namakkal, they seek votes in the names of the backward Gounder community. When they go to areas which are adjoining Andhra Pradesh in Tamil Nadu, they seek votes in the names of the Vokaliga, Gowda and Naidu communities. When they go to areas in Tamil Nadu adjoining Telangana, they seek votes in the names of Rajus, Naikars and Reddys. So the limited point is this: if there is one party which uses the caste hierarchy within Tamil Nadu to play vote bank politics, it is the DMK. So for the DMK to be waxing eloquent that they have nothing to do with the caste system is a whole lot of balderdash. And don't forget, when they go to rural Chennai and Vellore, which have the highest percentage of Dalit population, there they invoke the Dalit card. But last but not the least, before I end, I know I have taken a bit of time, but this needed to be said. There is another very interesting...
You always do.
Thank you. There is another
but
very...
Dr. Raman, that's not, why, so what if someone does? Please.
Who
You
was
also
that?
got
That
your
was Dr.
time.
Raman.
I never interrupted you. I asked you 3 follow-up questions. Please.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Raman. You know, you were being sarcastic, but you know, I really couldn't care less. Now, Rahul, tell me who are the people who are giving us, bhashan on Sanatana Dharma and Hinduism. And on this channel, but your colleague Anand Narasimhan, I was in a debate with him, and this particular point which I made, this had gone viral a few months back. I reinforced that, not because of wanting brownie points on social media, but this needs to be said. A. Raja contests Lok Sabha elections from a reserved constituency for scheduled caste, Nilgiris. And this man says he does not believe in the caste system. Does he have the guts then to not contest from Nilgiris, which is reserved for the scheduled caste? A. Raja is a crypto-Christian. Udhayanidhi Stalin is a crypto-Christian. T.R. Balu, the MP from Siruppuram, is a crypto-Christian. N.K. Stalin is a baptized Christian. Then you have the likes of E.V. Venu, who wanted a separate Dravida Nadu. He's their public works minister. He's a crypto-Christian. So, यहाँ बैठकर जो खुद baptized and crypto-Christians हैं, I have nothing against crypto-Christians. Who are they? What is the locus standi to give bhashan on Sanatana Dharma to Hindus who form 82% of India's population? Isn't that ridiculous, if not more?
Well, those are accusations made by Sanju Verma in the context of building a robust argument according to her. But let me tell you, viewers...
Those are not accusations, Rahul.
Right, those are facts. Okay, you're saying they're facts.
They are not accusations.
Okay, so Sanju Verma, okay, let me just open this up because this is important. Today, Sanju Verma can say these things with a certain degree of certitude because the Supreme Court, no less, has ticked off Mr. Udhayanidhi Stalin, viewers. We can accuse the BJP of playing politics, we can accuse X and Y of being apologists for this and that, we can indulge in all the whataboutery at our disposal, like Tehseen might do in just the next 2 minutes. But it is the Supreme Court that has taken note. And it did take note, Tehseen Punala, and I want you to also pay attention because I'm coming out to you. I'm taking you back now to July 1st, 2022. You might want to Google this also. The day the Supreme Court hauled Nupur Sharma over the coals, the Congress put out a statement, a long-winded statement, and it said very clearly, and this is in context of the remark that the Supreme Court passed, that Nupur Sharma had single-handedly, spread the fire or whatever. And this is what it said. The ruling party, which is the BJP, should hang head in shame. Congress's response to the SC observation against Nupur Sharma. The court has very rightly called out the BJP spokesperson for being single-handedly responsible for igniting emotions across the country, and that should apologize to the entire nation. This is Mr. Jairam Ramesh, the very eloquent Jairam Ramesh. And he says these remarks by the Supreme Court, which resonate with the entire country, should make the party in power hang its heads in shame. Now, Tehseen Poonawalla, where is the Congress party? Where is Jairam Ramesh today when the Supreme Court has been equally scathing? Now, you could agree if they are equally or not, but has been scathing, let's use that word, against Mr. Stalin. Why is Rahul Gandhi, who is spreading love, not hate in this entire country, as he says, not speaking up and saying the DMK should hang its head in shame, the DMK government should hang its head in shame, and why isn't he calling for the resignation of Udhayanidhi Stalin as one of the key coalition members of the DMK government? Sir, over to you.
Thank you, Rahul. Good evening. Thank you for having me on the show. So before we begin, I want to put a caveat out that it's my case on the hate speech, which is through which all these observations later on various benches of the Honorable Supreme Court made, including in Udhayanidhi Stalin and in Nupur Sharma. So the hate speech case is fundamentally my case from where all these directions then come in.
Wonderful.
Point number two, as you know, I don't support what Mr. Stalin said. I think what he said is does amount to hate speech. You know that. And I don't think that freedom of speech allows you to want genocide of people, including burning. I also want to put one more thing out, that if in our nation, if any religion has seen reforms, the most reforms, and Dushyant is here, has been Hinduism. I mean, the simple fact
all
that
this is brilliant.
Ram,
thank you, Tehseen, for giving Hinduism the certificate.
I don't need to give. I'm no one to give it. I'm too small. I'm not even.
So then tell me, your party, which is so big.
So the point is,
huge party, represents India, represents the Rajniti of love, as you say, the politics of love. Why hasn't it spoken up to say exactly what it said to the Modi government? Hang your head in shame to the DMK. Just simple. Please answer that question.
They did. Kamal Nath did. Surjewala
today.
They did.
After the Supreme Court. Today.
The question is, did the Congress condemn it? The answer is yes, the Congress condemned it.
No, hang on. Where is Rahul Gandhi? Where is the architect of this alliance? Number one, name me two Congress leaders from Tamil Nadu who said this. Name me two.
No, I don't think anyone from Tamil Nadu said that. I think that's a mistake.
I see, because they, viewers, have a completely different...
I'm a guest on your show. You must allow me and Dr. Raman to make our point.
No, but I'm asking you, where is the statement today?
I will. We will. But if you keep interrupting me, what your audience feels is we don't have answers, which is not true. So I will make the point. I've understood your question. So allow Dr. Raman and me to make our points. I agree. You're right. You are right on the hypocrisy of all political parties. What you're not saying, Rahul, and I don't mean you personally, what nobody is saying is, this hypocrisy in Tamil Nadu extends to the BJP, not just Tamil Nadu, in Delhi, the BJP.
And what happened to those two? What happened to those two MPs that made those hate speeches? They haven't got tickets.
Exactly.
And what happened to Sadhvi Pragya, your bugbear? She herself has come out and said, I don't think the Prime Minister liked what I said. So there are consequences, as the Supreme Court says, to people's actions. But there are no consequences, viewers.
Sir,
for DMK science.
Allow me to speak.
Breaking news coming in. Breaking news coming in. Prime Minister has reacted to this very Supreme Court order today, viewers. Let's listen in.
परिवारवाद का एक स्वभाव है। ये परिवारवादी जो पार्टियां होती है ना, उनको परिश्रम से दूर दूर तक का कोई नाता नहीं होता है। वो मेहनत करना अपनी जिम्मेवारी मानते ही नहीं है। इसलिए परिवारवाद अपने साथ अहंकार भी लेकर आता है, और जब कोई परिवारवादी सरकार में किसी अहम पद पर आ जाता है तो उसे लगता है कि देश और देश की जनता उसकी गुलाम है। वो अपने पद की गरिमा तक भूल जाता है। आज हमने ये भी देखा है कि कैसे देश की सबसे बड़ी अदालत सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने डीएमके परिवार के एक मंत्री से सख्त सवाल किए हैं। करोड़ों लोगों की आस्था का घोर अपमान करना भी परिवारवादियों की एक निशानी है, पहचान है, आदत है। और मुझे अफसोस है कि जिन्हें अपने अहंकार में जनता की भावनाओं तक की परवाह नहीं है, वो तमिलनाडु सरकार में प्रमुख पद पर बने बैठे हैं।
Well, it's almost as if Dr. Raman today read the mind of the Prime Minister, because this is exactly what he said at the beginning. He said they will not touch the DMK. They will not touch the DMK's Udhayanidhi Stalin because he is the DMK. And I think the Prime Minister has hit the nail on the head. Just 1 second. I need to take a short break. I'll come right back to you, gentlemen.
Can I make one? Yeah.
No, 1 second, please, sir. I need to take a short break. I just need to make one quick interjection before I go into that break, viewers. Look, the shoe today is on the DMK's foot and also on the Congress's foot. The Congress needs to make up its mind. Its leaders say that we respect Hindus, we respect Janyudharis. And when the Supreme Court speaks up, viewers, it is incumbent upon the Congress that represents, or at least aspires to represent, Indians from all across the nation to come out and tell its partner in power in Tamil Nadu that they need to act against Udhayanidhi Stalin. If it doesn't, well, viewers, then they'll be accused of being Chunavi Hindus, as some people say. Let me tell you, Mr. Biduri, Mr. Verma, Sadhvi Pragya, all of them made off-color remarks, communal remarks. They were targeted constantly by the opposition. Today, viewers, they've not been given tickets. Sadhvi Pragya said some nasty things about Mahatma Gandhi. The Prime Minister came out and said it pained him and he would never forgive her. And viewers, no ticket to her. She ain't coming back. I'll take a short break.
Joining us on the broadcast. Ananya, please help us put that into perspective for our viewers.
Well, definitely, this is a very, very crucial verdict that is now coming from the top of the country. Remember, there was Sheeta Soren, who was a member of the JNM, who had, in fact, lost the Supreme Court. The matter had travelled from three judges bench to finally within this bench headed by the Chief Justice of India, Dr. D.Y. Chandrasekhar. Now, when additional categorically starts to be clarified that no kind of a immunity is enjoyed by any parliamentarian when it comes to taking prize for giving a vote in the parliament, in the house, or taking a bribe for giving a speech in the house. So that is the immunity that existed in the 1998 judgment in the PV Narasimha Rao case does not exist now. It was the Supreme Court is very, very categorically stated, very clearly putting down and very clearly saying that MPs and PAs can't claim immunity from prosecution on charges of bribery in connection with a vote for speech in the legislative house. They also want to say that bribery is not rendered under Article 105 Part 2 or 194 of the Constitution of India. Bribery erodes probity in the public life, and the offence of bribery is agnostic, and it does not matter whether the vote is cast in certain direction or not cast at all. Bribery is complete when bribe is accepted is what the Chief Justice of India led. The 7-judge bench has said to this very unanimous verdict, no defense is there, and very clearly and categorically that judgment of 1998 of PV Narasimha Rao has been set out. If at all from now on, any kind of a parliamentary right to cast a vote in the house, or in fact, a speech after taking a right.
All right, I think we lost connection with Ananya over there. But if we were to talk about this big breaking news coming in straight from the Apex Court is about the unanimous verdict by 7-judge bench on bribes for vote case. All right, we have Ananya back with us on the broadcast. Ananya, you were saying something over the Supreme Court's recent order. Would you like to read it again for our viewers?
Well, definitely. I was reading down the part and portions of the order that the Chief Justice of India himself read. where it has very, very categorically been stated that, the bribery is not rendered illegal under Article 195 over 19 of the Constitution. They also go on to say that bribery erodes the probity in public life and has now overruled the 1998 judgment in the PV Narasimha Rao case where, MPs and MLAs were given particular immunity if they had casted a vote or given a speech after taking a bribe. However, the Supreme Court has clarified the offense of bribery, starts and ends when a bribe is actually taken, and that's exactly why no kind of immunity can be granted to any kind of MP or a MLA if at all they take a bribe and cast a vote or give a speech in the Parliament of India. So that is a big Parliament or any kind of a house, legislative house, is what the Supreme Court has gone on to say. So big judgment is coming in the immunity that until now the MPs and MLAs enjoyed when it comes to bribery for casting a vote or giving a speech in the Parliament or in any kind of a legislative house is now completely gone. The Supreme Court goes on to say that it's an agnostic offence and that's the reason why no kind of immunity can be actually granted.
Right, and just for the better perspective of our viewers, Ananya, could you take us back to the 1998's verdict in the PV Narasimha Rao case?
Well, definitely. The 1998 verdict in the PV Narasimha Rao case was a 3-2 verdict that was given by, in fact, the Supreme Court, where, it was said that the parliamentarians are immune when it comes to taking a bribe or giving...
Viewers, it might be safe to say that the opposition hasn't learnt its lessons despite being punished time and again for making off-colour remarks against Prime Minister Modi. The latest barb has been hurled by Lalu Prasad Yadav. Listen in, viewers.
ज़्यादा संतान होने वाले लोगों को बोलता कि परिवारवाद है, परिवार के लिए लोग लड़ रहे हैं। तुम्हारे पास परिवार नहीं है। तुम्हारी माता जी का जब अवसान हो गया तो हर हिंदू अपने माँ के शोक में केस दाढ़ी बनवाता, दाढ़ी छिलवाता। क्यों नहीं छिलवाया बताओ?
Modi immediately pounced on the barb and turned it into a virtue almost, viewers, reminding the public that his only parivar was the public of Bharat, who he tends to like an attentive head of family. The BJP followed very quickly to launch a political slogan spun around the phrase, Modi Ka Parivar. Almost all BJP leaders have now changed the slogans on their DPs, just like they had done, to use epithets like Chaiwala, fired derisively at Modi in the run-up to the 2014 elections, and of course Chaukidar Chor hai, fired by Rahul Gandhi before the 2019 election. This is how Modi turned it around, viewers.
एक सपना लेकर के बचपन में घर छोड़ा था और जब मैंने अपना घर छोड़ा तो एक सपना लेकर के चला था कि मैं देशवासियों के लिए जीऊंगा। देश के कोटि कोटि लोग मुझे अपना मानते हैं, अपने परिवार के सदस्य की तरह मुझे प्यार करते हैं और इसलिए मैं कहता हूं 140 करोड़ देशवासी यही मेरा परिवार है। ये नौजवान यही मेरा परिवार है। मेरा भारत, मेरा परिवार।
Mera Bharat, Mera Parivar, and as just told you, viewers, if you right now go on to Twitter, X or whatever, and look at the handles of BJP leaders, you will notice that they have changed their DPs to echo the Prime Minister's slogan. Now, viewers, time and again the opposition has attacked Prime Minister personally, almost invariably before elections. I don't need to remind you of Chaukidar Chor and Neech, Chaiwala, etc. Chaukidar Chor, of course, got Rahul Gandhi into trouble with the courts also, viewers, in a roundabout sort of way. They used the Panoti jibe Rahul Gandhi again just before the 3 state elections took place in the Hindi heartland, and of course the Telangana, the 4th and the 5th state with Manipur. That also went south, viewers, for the Congress, except for in Telangana. Viewers, in 2019, Rahul Gandhi said, why do all thieves have Modi surname? That also led to a lot of trouble, lot of controversy. In 2023, Rahul Gandhi was convicted for defamation. SC ordered a stay, luckily for him. There was a Chaukidar Chor Bab, and it just goes on and on, if you remember, viewers. And somehow or the other, the Prime Minister emerges unscathed, stronger. And therefore, we need to ask the question, why does the opposition revert to gali politics, to the politics of abuse, when confronted with the spectre of Mr. Modi winning an election or aspiring to win an election? Do they have no other issues? And how long will they continue to do so, despite the fact that it invariably always backfires? In fact, right now, viewers, I can tell you that reacting to the Prime Minister, Rahul Gandhi has again jumped up and said, Modi ka asli parivar Adani hai. It is only Adani. Modi's only parivar, his real parivar is Adani. This is what Rahul Gandhi has in fact said. PM's parivar is looting the nation, referring to Adani, forgetting that, viewers, his own party's chief ministers in various states invite Adani to invest. So it is rather strange that Rahul Gandhi always reverts to Adani to target Modi, saying that the only parivar that Mr. Modi has is Adani. I'll just try to find out if we have the bite ready to play out, viewers. It's a tweet rather, I'm told, so it's there for everyone to look at. Let's open this up. Tehseen Punal, I think, is there with us. So is the BJP's national spokesperson, Sanju Verma. Both of them are there with us. I want you to respond, Tehseen, and now you can take all your time to
Thank you.
To Lalu's, I don't know what to call it, but let's use the word barb, and Rahul Gandhi's response to what the Prime Minister has said.
So I'm very firm that personal attacks have no place in politics, particularly since the opposition, even forget the moralistic point of view, politically does not seem to gain from it. It always backfires. The Prime Minister uses it well. It's not that the BJP is so innocent. I don't want to go into the past history of the BJP or the Honorable Prime Minister personally, Shashi Tharoor's late 550 crore girlfriend, Mrs. Gandhi Jersey cow, Rahul Gandhi hybrid bachada, Mamta ji Didi or Didi. I don't want to get into all of that. He's done that. But look, it does not hurt him politically like how it hurts the Congress. Do you know, Rahul, and I want your viewers to know that Maut Ka Saudagar, the thing that Congress is often castigated for calling the Honorable Prime Minister, then Chief Minister of Gujarat in 2007, the Maut Ka Saudagar Bab was first taken by the Chief Minister of Gujarat, now Honorable Prime Minister on the Congress, in 2002. So he's a political human being and he knows how to turn around the babs he takes, or he shies away after making those babs. He doesn't do it again. The Congress and the opposition keeps repeating that mistake and it doesn't pay them dividends. My advice to them is don't do it. A, it's not morally correct. B, it's not even politically beneficial. That's my advice. But the smarter people there, like you said, the erudite Jairam, Ramesh, etc., very smart people. I'm not so smart, but they know better.
But Mr. Poonawala, then someone will say, aur kya bolenge? Because there are a large number of people.
There is so much to target the BJP on. So much. Unemployment, farmers on the street, teachers, students, economic data fudging.
So why don't they say these things rather than talking about the Prime Minister's parivar, his caste, his various other.
They should not. If you play
maybe because they don't have a convincing argument to make on those points. Okay, Sanju Verma, you want to respond to Tehseen Poonawala? Go ahead.
I will start with the last term used by Tehseen, fudging of economic data. Without getting too verbose, I will just say that the 8.4% GDP growth for the December 2023 quarter, when the world is struggling to even achieve 2%, is phenomenal by any yardstick. I have written a lengthy thread to Jairam Ramesh's lengthy thread saying that, this economic data is all hogwash. It is not. And Rahul, what? For the last 3 years in a row post-COVID, our average GDP growth is 8.23%, and Rahul Bajoria, the MD of Barclays, who people like me have grown up watching. He has raised India's GDP growth forecast to 7.8%, and IMF and World Bank are likely to follow suit.
Modi.
Well, we will leave it at that. Now let me speak about the more pertinent points. Tehseen spoke about how BJP and Prime Minister Modi has, they've been using barbs, blah, blah, blah. Hitler, Neech, Admi, Bandar, Bhasmasur, Sare Modi Chor hai, Chai Wala. We will not get into that. We will not even get into the fact that Rahul Gandhi kept repeating Chaukidar Chor hai even after being castigated by the Supreme Court. But let's focus on the more important bit. Lalu Prasad Yadav, the first FIR against him was when Congress was in power at the center. The first charge sheet against Lalu Yadav was when the Congress was in power at the center. Congress actually had to take special permission from the then Bihar Governor, Mr. A.R. Kidwai, to file a charge sheet against Lalu Yadav. And the first judgment convicting Lalu Yadav in 2013 happened not when Narendra Modi was the Prime Minister, but when Manmohan Singh was the Prime Minister. So for anyone to sit here and say, oh, Modi engages in vendetta politics, तो यदि लालू यादव ने कुछ कह दिया तो कौन सी बड़ी बात है? Please get your facts right. But I will just end by saying this. In the Hindu Dharma, there is nothing sacrosanct about actually shaving your head. There is something called an Anteshti ceremony. And Anteshti ceremony says that even for the eldest son, it is not mandatory, but the only person who perhaps it would do well for the eldest son to shave his head. And as per, customs, who is the eldest son of, Hiraben Modi? It is Sombhai Modi. After Sombhai Modi, you have the second brother of Narendra Modi, Amrit Bhai Modi. Narendra Modi is at the third number, and then below him, you have Prahlad Modi, Pankaj Modi, and their sister Vasanti Ben Hasmukh Lal Modi. So the first point is Modi is third sibling. He is not the eldest son. It is not mandatory as per Anteshti ceremony within Hindu Dharma for the third son to shave his head. But my last point is this. Lalu Yadav, you are a Chara Chor convict. You are out on bail. You keep saying, "Arey, meri kidney mein darad hai, mere ghutnon mein darad hai, mere sar mein darad hai," and then you pass these kind of absolutely below the belt remarks. Your place is to go back to Tihar. You don't deserve to be out on bail. You are so shameless.
Okay, well, look, the fact is
One
that
second.
Rahul Gandhi...
Can I make a point?
One second. Lalu Prasad Yadav can't take the moral high ground anymore, viewers. I don't even know why people are showing up, in fact, for his rallies. Maybe some people suggest that they do so because those audiences are procured, this, that, the other. You know what people say, viewers. I'm not going to go down that tube. But I just want to remind Tehseen Puran, ask you a follow-up question. Tehseen, I want to bring you in. Now, Jawaharlal Nehru was a 3-time PM. If Mr. Modi wins this election, he will also become a 3-time Prime Minister, consecutively in fact, equaling Mr. Nehru's record. Now, Mr. Nehru was widely known as Chacha Nehru. The Congress insinuated him into all our families in a sense by giving him this lovely term, Chacha. Indira Gandhi, in fact, went a step further. Her sycophantic president of the party, he basically said, no, you're Mother India. Indira is India, India is Indira. He elevated to the level of mother. Now, all Mr. Modi is saying is just count me as one of your Parivar Walas, and Rahul Gandhi begins to take pot shots. No BJP member has ever taken pot shots at this Indira is India, India is Indira. In fact, Atal Bihari Vajpayee said that she was Durga. And you had Chacha Nehru, who went around calling himself Chacha Nehru. No BJP, I don't remember any BJP leader saying, no, he's not our Chacha, etc. His Chacha is Tata. No one ever said that. Or his Chacha is Farooq Abdullah. No one ever said that. So, I really want to ask you, obviously there were other more substantive issues to raise at that time. The opposition had other things to talk about. I'm asking you, why does the Congress fixate on Mr. Modi's origins? Aren't there other more substantial things to talk about? And if they are, why aren't they be spoken about with the same alacrity?
So there are two parts to your question. Number one, has the BJP insulted the Gandhi family or the Nehru Gandhi family? Yes. day in and day out. It has, including spreading canards and falsehoods about the Gandhi-Nehru family, including in Parliament, the most honorable Prime Minister saying, oh, there was an election where Prime Minister Nehru was not elected, but Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, the Congress history saw no such election. This was a falsehood.
But
so
no
yes,
one
there has been...
questioned one
May
second.
please,
No one ever
your
said
question
that
so long.
India
I
would
don't
not
answer.
Chacha.
Look, Rahul, I'm
Nehru
a guest
was
on
a
your show.
selected
You
prime
gotta-
minister.
Okay,
He was
one
not an
second.
elected prime minister.
One second, the first time around.
Tehseen
Yes.
Poonawala, stop lying on
You
national
must allow
television.
me to
Nehru
answer.
was not
If I'm going to be interrupted
elected. He
either
was
by
selected.
Okay,
there's no
let's
point
not
having me.
interrupt.
I'm a guest.
That's the
Let him,
harm. That's the
Ms.
harm.
Verma,
How
you can
dare
come
you
back
lie?
on this.
How
You can
dare
come
you
back.
lie?
Okay, Ms. Verma, you can come back on this. Let Tehseen have his time. Yes.
Just a few seconds.
Yeah.
So one, not just that, as in the earlier opening segment, I did point out personal attacks made on Mrs. Gandhi, no less than by the Prime Minister. Not just that, Prime Minister Vajpayee, who you quoted, is on record condemning Prime Minister Modi, then Chief Minister Modi, saying that the attacks on Mrs. Gandhi, Sonia Gandhi, on her foreign origins were not acceptable in politics. In an interview to a colleague of yours from another channel, Prime Minister Vajpayee, the video is all over. So it's not that Mr. Modi has not done that. However,
No, but it's not as if Tehseen
However-
Poonawala on this point.
however,
Just okay,
like-
on this
I
point.
need to comment
One
on
second,
that.
on this
Understand
point,
the
even
role
Sharad
of
Pawar.
Tehseen
One
Poonawala.
second, on this point, even Sharad Pawar on foreign origins broke away. In fact, from the Congress, if you remember, Arjun Singh. Several
Yes,
other.
he
No,
broke
one second.
away. He
Give me-
broke away.
Now,
One second.
see,
He didn't-
you're not letting me speak.
because your
Please.
question is so long,
It's not.
I have not
I'm
answered
just-
it. The minute I answer, you interrupt me. I
I'm
can't
pointing
make
out
my
the fact.
point.
Okay,
No,
चलिए
this
आप
can't be
बोलिए
monologue
सर.
by you.
Mr.
आप
Pawar
बोलिए,
broke
बोलिए
away.
सर, बोलिए.
But didn't make
Rahul, why are you
personal, but
monitoring
didn't make
Tehseen
personal
Poonawala?
attacks.
This can't be a monologue by him.
Mrs. Gandhi has been called all sorts of derogatory statements by MPs of the BJP. MPs
Fair enough,
of the
sir.
BJP.
Make your second point.
Inhuman statements.
Okay.
Now,
Horrible
I
statement.
need to
Chalo.
make a
Fact
quick
is-
point.
Get to the
Rahul.
next.
I need to make a
I'll
quick
allow you
point.
in. I'll allow you in. Just let him finish his point. He's taking a long
he's
time
been
to get to
making-
his main point, which
How
is the
am I
question
taking
I asked
a
him.
being interrupted?
He's been making incoherent points and you've been
Let him-
indulging him for reasons best known
Now,
to you.
what do you expect? Let him just finish. Yes, come on.
Stop playing the
Come
victim
on,
card.
Rahul.
Okay, come on.
Oh my God,
Tehseen
victim card is your
The
prerogative.
fact is,
Okay.
Victim card is your
Let
prerogative.
me conduct this,
Tehseen.
please. Let me conduct. Give me 30 seconds, please. Yes. Yeah. Go ahead, Tehseen Poonawala. Go ahead.
the fact is, I do admit to one point.
Admit.
The more you attack the Prime Minister personally, it's a political disadvantage to the opposition, particularly to the Congress.
Right.
Because he completely turns it around, as you
Right.
rightly said, on this Parivar thing. So don't do it.
Don't.
Like I said, there
but
are
why
so many
does the
parameters
Congress
to defeat.
continuously do it? That's the question I asked.
need to
I haven't
comment
got a
on
The
response.
reason they
Okay.
do it, I think the
Ms.
reason
Verma.
they do it is
Rahul,
because of the acrimony between the two
Rahul, you need to
political
moderate
parties.
your debate.
And I hope the BJP
Okay.
can rise
Ms.
to
Verma,
understand and
respond.
reform.
30 seconds. 30 seconds. Respond. Okay.
Yes. You know, Tehseen, good humoredly, if there is one thing Sanju Verma never indulges in, it is playing the victim card. Playing the victim card to aap Congressiyon ki prerogative hai.
Okay.
You specialize in that, that's your USP. But now to the more serious point. This is an article
data
in the
are wrong
print.
on the economy.
Please now, keep quiet. I did not heckle you, keep quiet. This is an article in
did.
the print.
You actually
This
did,
is-
and the data
yes,
is wrong on
if
the
I
economy.
did, if I did, it's good for you because you are incoherent, I am not. Now, Rahul, let me make a very important point.
The data is
This
wrong on
an
the economy.
article.
Answer that.
Rahul, can you ask this man to stop talking? Please
Let
shut
him
up. Thank you.
Okay.
Yes.
Please. Okay.
Rahul, there is an article in
You
the
had a
print.
debate on civil talking
There is
by
an-
calling me to shut up, by
Arey,
calling
Okay,
Rahul,
please, gentlemen,
Shameless.
and
That's
Ms. Verma,
the
please.
civil-
Okay,
That's the
okay,
civil-
now,
I just
wanted to
okay.
expose the
This
hypocrisy.
is
I've
not
done
going
my
anywhere.
job.
Please,
Rahul,
please,
Rahul,
Tehseen
can you
Poonawala,
please-
one second. I'll have to lower your fader. Please, this is not fair. Let him just finish. 30 seconds. Let's move on. Yes. Okay.
He deserves
I
that.
expose the hypocrisy.
Yeah. Rahul, there is an article in the print, and this article is not very old. It's an article dated 9th February 2018. Written by whom? Written by Professor Makhan Lal of the Jawaharlal Nehru University. And what does Professor Makhan Lal write in this article dated February 9th, 2018? He says 12 out of 1 file, 15 committees had endorsed Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel as the next Prime Minister, but Nehru, who had endorsement of only 3 Pradesh Congress committees, was
Okay.
chosen and selected as the Prime Minister. And I don't think Tehseen Poonawala knows more than Professor Makhan
Okay.
Lal.
Now let me just
Isliye
come in
shant
here.
ho jao.
Let me come in here. Now, viewers, look, on Friday, and please mark what I'm saying, on Friday, we will come out with some data which will be hard for people to dispute. about the performance levels of both the UPA and the NDA. That will happen on Friday. That's an exclusive. We are building that story up, viewers. That will break here on the hard facts. But I just want to make a small point. Did you notice how a false equivalence was drawn? So when the Gandhis have focused on Mr. Modi and there has been invective, they've been justified because it is said that it's because of the bitterness, etc. So obviously, the Gandhis can wallow in bitterness, but Modi has to rise above it. So there are again two different yardsticks that are used. But nonetheless, viewers, I'm taking a short break. When we return, bit of an embarrassment for Rahul Gandhi. His own chief minister comes out and praises the Gujarat model, the Modi model. Why? We'll tell you.
For giving a speech for casting a vote in the House is what that judgment has said. And challenging that particular judgment, appeal was made here in the Supreme Court of India. First, 3 judges bench of the Supreme Court, and then 7 judges bench of the topmost court of the country has now very clearly and categorically in a unanimous verdict has stated that no kind of immunity can be enjoyed when it comes to, in fact, an offence of bribery.
Big breaking news now coming in. Well, we are learning that unanimous verdict by 7-judge bench on bribes for vote case is out. Supreme Court has in fact overruled the 1998 verdict in the PV Narasimha Rao case. The apex court was deciding if lawmakers have immunity from prosecution for taking bribe to make speech, cast vote in House, whether legal immunity enjoyed by legislator under Article 105 and 194 protects them from prosecution for taking bribes or not. We have CNN News 18's legal correspondent Ananya Bhatnagar joining us on the broadcast. Ananya, please help us put that into perspective for our viewers.
Well, definitely, this is a very, very crucial verdict that is now coming from the top of the country. Remember, there was Shita Soren, who was a member of the JNM, who had, in fact, lost the Supreme Court. The matter had travelled from 3 judges bench to finally a 7-judge bench headed by the Chief Justice of India, Dr. Now, when categorically starts to be clarified that no kind of immunity is enjoyed by any parliamentarian when it comes to taking bribe for giving a vote in the parliament, in the House, or taking a bribe for giving a speech in the House. So that is the immunity that existed. The 1998 judgment in the PV Narasimha Rao case does not exist now. It was the Supreme Court is very, very categorically stated, very clearly putting down and very clearly saying that MPs and PAs can't claim immunity from prosecution on charges of bribery in connection with a vote for speech in the Legislative House. They also go on to say that bribery is not rendered under Article 105 Part 2 or 194 of the Constitution of India. Bribery erodes probity in the public life, and the offence of bribery is agnostic, and it does not matter whether the vote is cast in certain direction or not cast at all. Bribery cases of speech when bribe is accepted is what the Chief Justice of India led. The 7-judge bench has said it is very unanimous verdict. No defense is there, and very clearly and categorically that judgment of 1998 of PV Narasimha Rao has been set out. If it all from now on, any kind of a parliamentary right to start the vote in the House, or in fact, a speech after taking bribe.
All right, I think we lost connection with Ananya over there. But if we were to talk about this big breaking news coming in straight from the apex court is about the unanimous verdict by 7-judge bench on bribes for vote case. All right, we have Ananya back with us on the broadcast. Ananya, you were saying something over the Supreme Court's recent order. Would you like to read it again for our viewers?
Well, definitely. I was reading down the part and portions of the order that the Chief Justice of India himself read. Where it has very, very categorically been stated that, the bribery is not rendered illegal under Article 195 and 196 of the Constitution. They also go on to say that bribery erodes the probity in public life, and now overruling the 1998 judgment in the PV Narasimha Rao case, where MPs and MLAs were given particular immunity if they had casted a vote or given a speech after taking a bribe. However, the Supreme Court has clarified that the offence of bribery, starts and ends when a bribe is actually taken, and that's exactly why no kind of immunity can be granted to any kind of MP or a MLA if at all they take a bribe and cast a vote or give a speech in the Parliament of India. So that is a big Parliament or any kind of a house, legislative house, is what the Supreme Court has gone on to say. So big judgment is coming in. The immunity that until now the MPs and MLAs enjoyed when it comes to bribery for casting a vote or giving a speech in the Parliament or in any kind of a legislative house is now completely gone. The Supreme Court goes on to say that it's an agnostic offence, and that's the reason why no kind of immunity can be actually granted.
Right, and just for the better perspective of our viewers, Ananya, could you take us back to the 1998's verdict in the PV Narasimha Rao case?
Well, definitely. The 1998 verdict in the PV Narasimha Rao case was a 3-2 verdict that was given by, in fact, the Supreme Court, where
Viewers, what a ringing endorsement for the Modi model, and it doesn't come from within the BJP or within the NDA. In fact, it comes from beyond. It comes from the Congress, and it comes from the Congress's latest poster boy and Chief Minister of Telangana, Mr. Revanth Reddy, who has come out and first things first, viewers, called the Prime Minister Big Brother and then gone on to celebrate the Gujarat model, saying that he is going to emulate the Gujarat model right down to the last. Viewers, this would be especially irritating for the likes of Rahul Gandhi. Why? Because, viewers, let me just read out to you what Rahul Gandhi's own assessment of the Gujarat model has been all these years. On 10th May 2022, just about a year and a half back, Rahul Gandhi said, as the Prime Minister, Modi is doing in country what he did as the Chief Minister in Gujarat, creating one India for rich and another for common people. It's called the Gujarat model, unquote. Today, his own chief ministerial pick is celebrating, viewers, the Gujarat model. In September 4, 2017, in the run-up to the then Gujarat Assembly elections, Rahul Gandhi said the BJP and Prime Minister Narendra Modi are scared of the outcome of the Gujarat Assembly polls. You cannot hide the truth for long. The hollowness of the BJP's Gujarat model of development has been exposed now. Viewers, two different points of view coming from within the Congress. I'm going to take a short break. Coming up, straight off, is Anand Narasimhan with the right stand.
Namaste, Jayant, and welcome to this edition of The Right Stand. I'm Anand Narasimhan. The BAPS Hindu Mandir in Abu Dhabi opened its doors for the public on the 3rd of March, and nearly 65,000 people visited the Mandir. While over 40,000 people visited in the morning, nearly 25,000 visited during the evening. BAPS is the first Hindu Mandir in Abu Dhabi, which was inaugurated by Prime Minister Narendra Modi recently. The Coal Ministry, meanwhile, has revealed that the share of imported coal in overall consumption in Bharat has come down to 19.3% in April-December of the financial year, ending March 31st, from 21% in the previous corresponding period. And this has translated into 82,264 crore rupees worth of forex saving. Union Minister Prahlad Joshi has said that this is a testament to the self-reliance and economic prudence that Bharat has been trying to follow under the leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. The Defence Ministry, meanwhile, has signed a deal with an Indian firm for enhancing the simulators utilized for Indian Air Force's Sukhoi 30 MKI fighter aircraft. According to an official statement, the upgrade will be spearheaded by MSME and will encompass the integration of indigenous weapons and capabilities, thereby improving the operational training of the IAF pilots. And as per a US-based research firm Marcom Capital, rooftop solar capacity addition saw a 6.25% growth to 1.7 gigawatt in 2023, and this was supported by various factors like reduced installation cost. The rooftop capacity addition was at 1.6 gigawatt in 2022, and this we're talking is about in Bharat. Meanwhile, let's set up the first face-off, the political face-off. It's all around Prime Minister Narendra Modi. If in 2019 it was about Chaukidar and Chaukidar Chor hai, this time at all it is Unka Parivar nahi hai. That's why he does not understand and how can he treat anybody and how would he know family values. And Prime Minister Narendra Modi has said 140 crore Indians are my Parivar, Mera Bharat, Mera Parivar.
वालों को बोलता कि परिवारवाद है, परिवार के लिए लोग लड़ रहे हैं। तुम्हारे पास परिवार नहीं है।
वो शायद अपने कैबिनेट मिनिस्टर्स को अपना परिवार मानते हैं, मैं दिल्ली के 2 करोड़ लोगों को अपना परिवार मानता हूं।
देश के कोटि कोटि लोग मुझे अपना मानते हैं, अपने परिवार के सदस्य की तरह मुझे प्यार करते हैं। 140 करोड़ देशवासी, यही मेरा परिवार है।
Well, ladies and gentlemen, sometimes netas resort to name calling during the political campaigns or public events with intentions of gaining advantage over or perhaps defending their own turf. And as the countdown for Lok Sabha 2024 draws near, the fight is only getting shriller. Prime Minister Narendra Modi in his election rallies has always criticized the opposition for its dynastic politics, terming it Parivarvad. That means it is all about one family, one party, but not all leadership, but only the entire familial lineage or the family lineage that continues to corner most of the political gains or the political positions, accusing them of putting their own individual families first and not the nation. The opposition, in a bid to attack the Prime Minister, perhaps stooping to another low. RJD chief Lalu Prasad Yadav said, "What can we do if the Prime Minister doesn't have a parivar? He keeps talking parivarvad, unka khud ka hi parivar nahi hai. How does he understand family?" And this was not the first time. Members of the India Alliance have taken jibes at Prime Minister Narendra Modi not having a family or dedicating his entire life towards seva of the country, public service. They have said a person who does not have a family, how can he understand what a family needs or the needs of a family or familial values? Now he's gone on to say, Lalu Prasad, on Sunday at a rally, saying that PM Narendra Modi is not even a real Hindu because the PM didn't shave his head or his beard post his mother's demise, as is customs or customary in a lot of Hindu pratha or the way